Alright man, let's get into this real quick, man. This is gonna be a real short video. I'm just gonna go into my thoughts on Starfield right now. So this ain't gonna be no review, man, because Game Pass is such a huge thing. So what I really want to get into is it worth getting Game Pass? I mean, and even if it's worth buying. So let's start off, man, with what Starfield is not. And it is not a space game. Let's just be honest. If you compare it to probably the only two space games that are really out there, in my opinion, that really matter, Star Citizen, which is not even a complete game, but you can seamlessly land and take off from planets. You can even seamlessly connect to space stations. No Man's Sky. I mean, come on. That speaks volume. Speaks for itself. That game came out. It was a shit show, and now it's one of the best space games out. So, starting from the get-go, man, like, Bethesda really hyped it up, saying this is a space sim and 1,000 planets and all this other jazz. But, and honestly, it's a bunch of fast travel and a bunch of cutscenes. You have, in general, two types of spaces. You have space and ground. And to get between both of those is a cutscene. It's all fast travel. Another thing, man, there's a noticeably large amount of loading screens. I mean, this is supposed to be next gen, right? And don't get me wrong, loading screens are short, but it's still noticeable. Like most games these days, the loading screen be like half a second, if that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of loading screens. So basically, it's just a game that has a bunch of sandboxes you can play in. That's pretty much all it is. I mean, I've only been to a few planets. I probably only got about 10 hours back into this game, and you know, I'm probably like, oh, don't got the story down. Like, I don't really care what the story is. I mean, the story is interesting. I love exploring and all that good stuff, but at its core, it is not a space exploration game at all. Let's just be honest. So, as a game itself, as an RPG, how do I rate it? I rate it pretty good. I mean, it's your typical Bethesda game, just like Fallout, just like Skyrim, but better. You know, it is running on next gen, so it does have better graphics. To me, the combat is a little bit better, but it's that same choppy first-person combat, just like in Fallout, man. Just, I don't know. They need to get with the people over at Activision, Bungie, and get those controls down, because it's just not happening. It's real janky. So, but I do love the exploration of the game. Just like any other Bethesda game, you can pretty much pick up anything. So if you can get past the fact of it not being a space game, let's go to the fact of what kind of game is it? Is it a good RPG game? Yes, it is a good RPG game. It's all RPG mechanics. Speaking of those mechanics, one thing that just killed me, and you know I'm in the beginning of the game, so if it's killing me now, it's going to be killing me later. And that is inventory management, man. You pick up like, and I'm exaggerating, you pick up like 8 things, and you already running heavy. Like, come on, man. Like, they gotta do a better, like, maybe like resources, like, that you need for building and stuff. Maybe that shit should be 0 mass, so you can just carry an unlimited, you know, stuff. But man, I had probably like 10 items, and I was already, I forgot what they call it, encumbered, which means it's not like in Fallout games where you move slower. You move regular speed, but now you're using up all your oxygen. Next thing you know, you're getting CO2 levels. So I'm like, man, I gotta throw stuff down, or I gotta transfer between me and my companions, put on my ship. That's just something they need to fix. So, if you're familiar with Fallout, you're gonna be familiar with these controls. Nothing really has changed. It doesn't have that, I think it's called VAP system, where it slows down or anything. I do wish combat was better, like I said. Oh, another kind of mechanic that's really killing the game, in my opinion, is that for a game that has, I'm not gonna say the game that's so large, for a game that has so many destinations for you to play around in, there's no map. Like, I was in the first location you go to, which was New Atlantis. I guess that's the biggest open world city they've ever built. Whatever. But I'm around here, man. I'm looking for a shop. And I'm literally just running around this city, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even touch half the city, looking for a decent shop to buy a specific item, and I can't find it. And I gotta remember where I go and all this. Man, give me a map. At least, I hope they really put that in a patch or something later where you can find a map and you can reference it in game and be like, boom, here's the store I need to go to, let me get there. So, the space combat to me is okay. A little sluggish. I wish it could be faster. I haven't really did that many space combats, but it was good for what it was. I haven't really touched on the ship building, which I did do it a little bit, and it is pretty extensive. If you want to buy a ship outright, it's going to be expensive. I did dabble in the outpost building. I put that on. Actually built my first outpost on the moon where Earth is, and you'll get into like what happened to Earth and everything, or why the human race went out into the stars to settle. So overall, man, I agree with some of the ratings that are out there, 7s and 8s, because in my opinion, we was promised a space game. This is not a space game. This is a Bethesda game with a space theme. That's what it is. Space is just in the background, and that's the premise of the game, but you don't really get to do that. Like, if you could even seamlessly attach to a space station, okay, that's okay. But in my opinion, this is what they should have did. They should have kept the game centered in one solar system, and within that one solar system, you should be able to seamlessly land on and take off from planets, moons, and space stations. Keep it simple. Keep the dream alive, you know what I'm saying? But keep it simple. And then, when DLC comes out, boom, add another solar system or whatever. Or when the new systems come out, the PS6 and the Xbox Series X1, whatever the hell you want to call it, man, boom, then you can make that real game that you wanted to make. But until then, no. So the big question, is it worth getting Game Pass over? Yes, because Game Pass is like $15, $14, whatever dollars, and you get to try the game out. Buying the game outright, I would still say yeah. I mean, what if you don't have Game Pass? You just want to buy the game. It is a good RPG, and it's $70, and it is worth $70. It is a large game, so take it how you take it. Now, if you don't like Fallout and Skyrim and all of them, then don't get this game. This ain't for you. Wait for something else that's coming out, maybe Crimson Desert. But I'm just whispering that in your ear. But anyway, man, that's it. That's all my thoughts on the game, and whatever.